This gentleman came along and he joined me at the 1 year accelerator program. He put his time, he put his effort in there, and he transformed himself. And today, our good friend Sylvester is coming back to inspire you to pursue your dreams. So, ladies and gentlemen, go to the chat box and type in Sylvester. Type in Sylvester because he's coming back to share with you his secrets of success. Okay, Sylvester, my brother. Good to see you there, my friend. Welcome back to 100x DNA. Hey, mate, how you doing? Now, let me get my picture on the screen there. There we go. Wow. Either you're getting younger and better looking or I'm getting older and grayer.
Yeah, it's probably me getting younger.
Absolutely, 100%. Well, thank you for joining us today. And
My pleasure.
You joined 100x DNA Masterclass. Like our friends today, they're in the back of the room, and then you've made it to the front of the room. You've applied what you've learned and you've had some big transformations. But before you met me, what were you trying to achieve? What was happening in your life?
I think I stumbled upon you by accident. I was not planning on getting a life coach. I was running an education center and also an early childhood center at the same time. And I've been doing it for 11 years. And I have to say I'm a fantastic educator. However, I'm not such a great businessman. So I haven't been profit-centered. I haven't been thinking about making money. And because of that, I've been running the center into the ground. And yeah, I know I own a business. I'm supposed to have my finger on the pulse, but I don't do it because somehow I'm afraid of looking at the accounts. The details bore me, the details scare me. So right before I met you, I was actually looking for some way to turn my business around. And I was looking for business support. Little did I know that it was in here that needed support. It was in here that needed support. And all that can reflect in the business. Yeah. So that's how I started before I met you. I was looking for business support.
Once you started on that journey of trying to make these changes, what had you tried? What worked? What had you tried and what didn't work for you?
In what I do, I teach teenagers and I teach children about communication, about thinking skills and all that. So goal setting was not foreign to me. In fact, I knew it. It was second nature to me. Yeah. So I understand smart goal setting and all that. But the goals that I've set is smart. It is the logical thing to do, but I don't know. I just don't do it. It is, you can quantify it. It's time-based, everything, but I just don't go around to do it. And I don't realize that it was because I did not know myself well enough. And I was actually setting my goals against the grain of who I actually am. So that made me set a goal, but then I look at the goal and I feel like, it's so difficult to do. I'm not interested in doing it. Maybe I can wait another day. And before I know it, it's 11 years. Yeah. So I've done goal setting. I've actually paid for accounting software, but I've never implemented it in my company simply because I just cannot make myself look at the details. It's just too painful and too scary for me. Yeah. And also I've been trying to delegate tasks to my team. And something like, I think this morning you were talking about trusting people. And I also did not realize that it's very difficult for me to trust people. So I cannot let go and I micromanage. And on top of that, I'm a communicator. I'm famous for teaching communication skills. I never expected that what I lacked was communication skills.
And do you think you started to have that awakening as you started to learn about your disc style?
Yes, actually, just over the first weekend that I had with you, the 3 day, I think it was 2 day weekend, that alone gave me so much insight into my inner workings, my personality and how I react to things. So I did not have to think twice about getting onto the 1 year program. In fact, this morning when you were promoting the accelerator, one of the disqualifying factors was if you're on your last dollar and you're betting everything on this, you don't qualify for this. I think I was pretty much at that moment in time, yeah, because business was horrible. It was at the peak of the pandemic. Everyone don't know what was going on. And I was keeping a lot of bills at bay so that I can make payroll, and whatever income that I have, I was pouring it back into the company so that I can make sure my teachers get paid and their livelihood are not affected. So basically, I did beg, steal, or borrow just to get onto the 1 year thing, but no regrets. Gave me great insight into how I function. And I think that it never occurred to me that, we don't have a manual to ourselves. And in my mind, I'm a capitalist educator, but actually I'm not. I'm actually a socialist. I would be very happy to give everything away if I can alleviate somebody's pain or somebody's suffering. So I did not discover that until DISC and 100x DNA.
Wow. And I know that you've got a big team. How did it transform your leadership with your team? Because I remember at one stage you had almost written off some of your senior staff members, maybe thinking that they weren't valuable or they couldn't get results. How did your leadership change towards your senior staff?
Yeah, that is very interesting. I would almost say it was almost like an overnight paradigm shift when I realized that the problem was not with them. There were two very senior staff that I just cannot communicate. My ideas were just cannot get through. And then I've tried delegating, but then any communication, any chance that we communicate would be frustrating for me. But through the 100x DNA, I fully understood how I function as a person, how I would usually I would go through mental rehearsals, if you would call it, about things that I want to do, plans that I want to put in place, or certain things that I want to do in the business. I would keep running it through my head, and then I would keep refining it in my head. And when I feel it is ready, I would give instructions for them to execute it. But what I did not realize was, for me, that idea has been maturing in my head for like maybe 80 days, 90 days, but it is the first time they've heard the idea. So they are not on the same page as me. And when I give them instructions, I was giving it to a person who should be on the same page as me. So because of that, when I inspect what I expect, I don't get it, and it frustrates me. And I know I want a more independent team, but then so I keep delegating to try to get them more independent. But the trouble was my communication style. I was not communicating fully. Even today, I still struggle with it. And this morning, I don't feel as guilty because it seems like it takes a life-changing event to change your disc style. So I haven't had a life-changing event, did not lose an arm or a leg or anything like that. So yeah, I'm still me, but I'm managing. I'm managing and I'm juggling how my disc styles work, and reminding myself constantly that you have to communicate better. Sometimes there are things in here that you sort of just assume the other person knows, but they don't, because I have never said it before. So that's creating a lot of conflict. Today, they are still with me. They are one of my most valuable members because I can communicate better with them now. I also understand them better, and I see them in a different light. So yes, that helped a lot in retaining my team.
And after you went through that journey of transformation, when you look back and you connect all the dots, what do you think was the biggest breakthrough for you over the 12-month journey? What did you learn about yourself over that 12 months?
We did something similar to the visualization of the fork in the road. And so to give everyone some background, yeah, I've been delaying increasing my fees for my kindergarten and a childcare center. And actually, that was the low-lying fruit. If I were to just increase the fee, a lot of things would have been okay for the time being. You know, it was a very easy way to fix all my problems. But you know, I just cannot. I just feel that I cannot. I'm gonna lose students. My business is going to fall. It's gonna be the end of it if I raise my fees and all that. And we did that visualization, and I cannot remember exactly how long. I actually suspect that it was about a minute or two only. But you asked me during that visualization to close my eyes and to imagine, to think about the day after I have raised my school fees. How would I feel walking into school? And I remember it very vividly. You know, that moment, it was so real to me. And it was such a beautiful, it was such a beautiful walk into school. I was feeling so happy, so empowered, so ready to change the world. And, you know, one child at a time. And that just gave me the strength to do something that I've been putting off for a very long time. And I've been putting it off not because, you know, not because of I did not have, I knew I had to do it, but my style was just too, my driving forces, I am just impossibly altruistic. So that was holding me back because I feel if I raise prices, it would hurt my students. It would burden my existing clients, and I just cannot make myself do it. But 2 minutes of visualization, at the peak of the pandemic, I raised my prices 30%. I still feel it's a miracle in itself. Yeah, I think that was a great breakthrough. That was a great breakthrough.
Incredible. Incredible. So it just takes a little bit of courage, doesn't it? It takes a little bit of courage, a little bit of guidance, and a little bit of belief as well. You know, having somebody to believe in you. I think this is key as well. All of us need somebody to believe in us.
Yeah.
And as we start to do that, we have these breakthroughs. Now, we're getting a lot of applications coming through from the 100X DNA Accelerator, and I know some people haven't applied yet. For those people who haven't applied, after having the experience for yourself, what would you say to them if they hadn't applied yet?
This is your manual to how you work. And you wouldn't believe it if I told you, all right? Because I teach communication skills. I teach body language. You know, people pay top dollar to send their children to me. I don't coach the parents, but they send their children to me. Oh, actually, Daniel, we've been getting a few adult applicants who are applying for a sort of like a communication skills coach. Yeah. So yeah, that's a new side avenue that's opening up for me. So this is, for me, in my hometown, this is my branding. I'm known for being Sylvester, the confident guy, Sylvester, the guy who goes on stage. But what I did not realize was because I don't understand myself, I've been setting my goals all wrong, all against the grain. And as I set goals and I don't do it, I plant a little seed of guilt in me. And that seed of guilt keeps growing and growing and growing. And just before I met Daniel, I was at this fork in the road. It was the pandemic. I was always stuck at home. And there were moments where I wondered to myself, so is this what Sylvester has become? like the one who most likely to succeed is the one that most likely to not succeed. So that self-doubt was growing within me. But on the outside, nobody can see it. And I don't say it out loud because that's just me. I'm not very pessimistic. Yeah. But every time an opportunity presents itself, that doubt comes out and I feel like I don't deserve it. I don't dare to pick it up. So just before I met you, I've been offered to take over the leadership of our regional, association, yeah, for early childhood in Miri. I've been asked to take over for years, and I feel I'm not ready. And then my secondary school, they were looking for a chairman for the board of directors. And they've been asking me for a few times, and I've been turning it down because I feel I'm not ready. That doubt was just too loud. But somehow, somewhere inside the 100x DNA, from understanding myself better, and I realized that these are things that will add value to me and my life. I said yes. And the world did not end. I did not fail in my business. I am now the president of my association and also the chairman of the board of directors for my school, my secondary school. Yeah, so I'm working on behalf of the bishop, and at the same time, I'm still running my business. And people who I've written off, now I'm able to rope them back in, and we are as close as ever, and we are working together. And all this is because of a 1-year life transformation program, 100x DNA. So I'm not sure what you are thinking about. Seems too good to be true. But you've heard it from Shervy, you've heard it from me, you're going to hear from a few others. I really don't know what else I can say to convince you to do this. And I'm here today because I feel I owe Daniel and Nini a debt, because they have provided value for me. I would willingly come and promote him and his program anytime if he asks. Yeah. So don't think anymore. Beg, steal, or borrow. Although he said that's a disqualifying factor.
Sylvester, thank you so much. It's an honour to be a part of the journey with you, and it's nice to see somebody who's taken these ideas and run with it and really made a big impact in the life of their family, but also the life of their community. So both Nini and I are extremely proud of you too. So well done, my friend. Well done.
Thank you, Daniel.